Hey everyone, it's Andy with Namaste at Home Yoga. Today, what Neville and I have planned for you is yoga for runners. So hopefully this helps to open some things up that might be tight after a few good running sessions, or a little bit of strengthening as well that can just help out with your runs. I know lots of us have been either a little bit more limited with what we've been doing, and running is one of those excellent no equipment options. So hopefully this fits right in with the rest of your routine. You can go ahead and grab a seat, get comfortable, and we'll just start with our usual check-in. Getting nice and tall with the spine, allowing the sit bones to rest. Hands coming to rest at the knees, maybe at the sides. Allowing that gaze to soften or eyes to close. Turning our attention to our breath. Tuning in with the body's natural rhythm. Seeing if we can start to add a little bit more depth to this. Breathing in, really thinking about filling bottom to top, belly and chest. Exhales, letting chest fall and belly fall. Inhale, fill the belly, fill the chest, full breath. Exhale, chest and belly. If there's a focus you would like to bring to mind for your practice today, now is a good time to hold that front and center. Something positive that you can work with through your practice, whether it's a word or a phrase. You can float hands through center, chin to your chest. Softly opening those eyes up. And come on back to your tall spine here. Gentle movement first. Let's start by inhaling, roll the shoulders up towards the ears. Exhale, send them away. Couple more like that. Inhale, lift them up. Exhale, release. One more. Relaxing that down. Let's sink the right ear down towards the right shoulder. Finding some space in the side of the neck. Maybe we stay here or start to walk the left fingertips away. Just extending that sideline a little bit more. Inhaling to come back through center. Exhaling, left ear, left shoulder. Option to walk those right fingertips out. Still staying so tall in our spine. That next breath in, you can find your way back up. We'll make our way into our tabletop position. Gently waking up the spine as we move through some lateral movement first today. Bringing both the head and tailbone over towards the right side of the mat, extending through your left side. Breathing into that space that you're creating. Exhale to come back through center, and then sending the head and the tailbone over to the left. Breathing into the right side body. Exhaling back through center. A few more each side. Inhaling, sending yourself over to the right, opening at the left. Exhale, move us back through center, through neutral. Inhale to the left. Exhale, center. One more each. Moving that inhale over to the side. Exhaling, return through center. One more. Moving through our cat-cows. Now those inhales start to open up through the front of the body. Head, chest, and hips are lifting. As you exhale, pressing through hands and knees, allowing the spine to round. Inhaling to open up. Exhale, round. Let's move through 3 more, just like that. Following your own breath, whatever pace you're moving at today. Feeling every moment of breath with just a little bit of movement, even if it's a micro movement. Once you are done your last few cat-cows, go ahead and send hips back towards heels, extending arms out in front of you for child's pose. Allowing the chest to sink heavy here, forehead to melt down to your mat, or maybe to come rest on stacked hands. At any point, if you need a change of pace to get centered again, reconnecting with your focus or your breath, this is a great spot to do that. So feel free to come back here at any time and join back in when you're ready. Moving here, we'll inhale, float through center. Waking up the back body a little bit, some core strengthening. Let's send the left arm, right leg, reaching forward and back. Opposite arm and leg, finding a reach towards the front wall, towards the back wall. Activating by pulling your toes back towards you. Strong all the way through that leg. Through your fingertips. And moving with our breath, we'll exhale, pull elbow to knee. Inhale to extend. Exhale, pull through center. Inhale, extend, last one. Exhale, center. And finding our way back onto the mat. Let's make our way to our second side. Right arm, left leg this time around. Finding our neutral spine, crown of the head reaching forward. We'll find our balance first. Find our activation first. Fingertips reaching forward. Heel reaches back. Core stays engaged, helping to keep us stable, to keep us strong. Finding an evenness in the hips. And then exhaling as we pull elbow to knee. Inhale, extend out. Exhale through center. Inhale, open. Last one, exhale, pull that in. Replacing down on the mat. Take your time, find your way up and back into a downward dog. Do what you need to do here, maybe pedaling things out. And settling into our inverted V shape for a few breaths. Allowing your knees to bend as much as you need. Heels may be lifted or lowered. Warming things up. Let's find an inhale forward to our high plank. Exhaling lower to the knees and tuck the toes. Chin and chest come to rest. Inhale, draw forward and up, half lift. Exhale, back, down dog. Finding a couple of breaths here. We're going to move through 2 more of those half series flows. Moving with the breath, let that guide your pace. We'll meet back here when you're done. Find that inhale, shift forward, high plank. Exhaling, lowers, core stays strong. Inhale, finds lift. Exhale, back. One more. Listen to your breathing. Keep it smooth. Keep it strong. And let it guide you. Send the right leg high and step between the hands. You're going to stack that ankle right underneath the knee and keeping the back knee lifted, legs fired up for now. I can't do yoga for runners without doing a runner's lunge, so let's start to lift through the crown of the head, lifting the chest. Start to draw the arms back alongside the body, palms face the earth. Legs are fired up, right hip pulls back as the left hip pushes forward. Get so high on your back toes. Long line from the crown of the head, out your heel. Staying here for 3, 2, and 1. As we exhale, frame that foot. You can drop the back knee and tuck the toe if it is safe to do so. And let's send the hips back here, straightening out the front leg. If you have blocks that you want to use to keep yourself up a little bit higher, you're welcome to use them. You can also rest with hands on the leg. Finding some stretch sensation through the back of the leg, hamstring and calf. An option to stay as you are or add a little bit of movement here, allowing the toes to tap down and flex back towards you. Slow, gentle movements. And then shifting back forward, find your lunge once more, knee stacking over ankle. Inhaling to lift the chest. Find that drop of your tailbone. Allow the spine to grow tall with breaths in. Hips to sink forward and down with each exhale. Hands may stay as they are, or we can invite a gentle side bend. Inhaling, left arm overhead. Exhaling to find some extension. Fingertips are reaching up towards the sky. We're creating length on that left side without creating compression in the right. Allowing the breath to flow fully and smooth. Excellent. You can go ahead and release from your foot. Find your way back to a downward dog. And we'll move into our second side, setting that left leg high in between the hands. Runner's lunge first, getting high on your back toes. And inhale starts to lift us forward and up. Think about containing that core, containing the low ribs. Keeping them strong. Find that shift in the hips, left hip back, right hip forward. Strength through the back body, shoulder blades squeeze together. A couple more breaths, you've got it. Nice. Let's take that next exhale to frame the foot. Drop the knee and tuck toes and send the hips back, finding our hamstring and calf stretch. Hanging out at whatever level suits us today. Anything that finds that stretch sensation but allows us to keep our breathing smooth. We can keep steady as we are, or add that little bit of movement. Toes coming down towards the mat and back. Whatever suits you here. Nothing else. Allow yourself to come back to that breath. We'll start to shift forward once more, finding our bend in the knee so it stacks over the ankle. Allowing yourself to grow tall with your inhale, hips sink low with each exhale. Setting up with the arms wherever they feel best. And then that option always to inhale right arm this time. Exhaling, finding the gentlest side bend. Really reaching with those fingertips towards the sky. Feeling that lift up out of your torso. So tall, so strong. Still thinking about the breath. Finding lift, finding length, and settling in. Breathing into those spaces of tension. Wonderful job. Go ahead and release that down. Step on back, find your down dog. Let's move through that half series. Inhaling to your plank. Exhaling, core strong, elbows tight as you lower. Inhale, drawing up half a lift. Exhale, send it back, downward dog. Inhale, send that right leg high once more. Stepping between the hands. You're gonna set up for one more runner's lunge. Getting fired up through the legs. Find that activation. Inhale, lift when you're ready. Reaching those fingertips back for the first breath or so. It's finding your balance. If you have a focus point, maybe just in front of your mat. Then allowing hands to float through center. Inhale to get tall. Exhale, start to twist, left elbow towards the right knee. Maybe we cross here. If not, left hand finds the right leg. Right hand moves to the low back. We can stay with gaze at the side wall or challenging the balance. It could lift. Notice if shoulders have come back towards the ears. Send them away. We've almost made it through. Inhale through center. Exhale, come on back, down dog. Left leg, second side. Inhale, lift high. Set it on up. Step between the hands. Get solid in your stance, solid in your feet. Legs active. Inhale lifts us up. Feeling that heat, building that strength. Allowing the chest to be broad as we reach those fingertips back to start. And then floating hands through center. Find your twist. As we exhale, right elbow towards the left knee. Option to modify by bringing right hand to the left knee, left hand to the low back. Still breathing deep. Hands are pressing. Keep that pressure in the palms so that they draw back towards the center of the chest. Nice work. Inhale through center. Exhale, frame, step forward. We'll meet in a forward fold. Letting some of that hard work go. Just ragdoll it here. Find a little shift side to side. Bend the knees generously as much as you need. And then we'll start to roll up to stand, vertebrae by vertebrae. Take your time. Find that nice tall stance. Mountain. And an equal weight in the feet. Finding that lift through the crown, just as proud. And maybe a big cleansing breath here. Fill up the lungs, bottom to top. Sigh it out. Nicely done. Let's continue with a little bit of strengthening, moving into our hips now. Hands can catch for hips. We'll shift over towards one side, probably your left side. Inhale, right knee to chest. Exhale, kick that leg out. Keeping hips level here. Crown reaching. How high can we hold that leg? Toes pointing towards the ceiling. So active for 3, for 2, and 1. Go ahead, release it down. All right, second side, evening out, finding that strength in through our hip flexors. Shifting over to our right foot. We'll inhale to lift. Exhaling, kick. Fired up with those legs, pulling toes back towards the face. Each breath in finds that lift, keeps us tall. 2 more good breaths, let's go. Finding an exhale, release that down. Fabulous work. Let's bring our feet at least close to mat width apart. Turn the toes out about 45 degrees. Inhale, hands through center. Exhale, let's find our squat. Bring it nice and low. If it's available, hands float through center as elbows find the insides of knees. If you need to adjust your stance wider or narrower, please do what you need to do. If your heels are lifted, that is all right here. Encouraging you to draw the chest forward, draw that spine tall for a couple breaths. Wonderful. And using the hands as you need to, find your way to a seat. Continuing with a little bit of strength around the hips. Allow foot soles to come to touch, knees open to sides. The closer your feet are in towards you, the more intense this one is, so please adjust however you need. Find somewhere that you can grab to, maybe shins or ankles. Settle into your tall spine once more. And then think about activating with the outer edges of the glutes, external rotators of the hips, to start to press the knees down and towards the mat. Hands are too tempting to help you out. Maybe they come to rest at either side. Finding that tall spine. Glute activation for a couple more. Go ahead and release with an exhale. Send the feet back out in front of you. We'll keep them about hip distance apart. This next one is on the passive side, so allow the knees to bend if that feels better. Allow the ankles to stay relaxed. Maybe just give yourself a little bit of a pedal out here. Feel that lack of effort, that relaxation finding its way into the legs. Inhale to get tall. As we exhale, we're going to start to walk ourselves forward. Maybe it's a little bit of a lean for today, maybe it's a lot. Allowing somewhere for the hands to rest. Allowing the spine to round. And since we're coming into this rounded posture, I want to avoid really pulling and forcing ourselves down here. Instead, allow your hands to rest on the mat, somewhere that you can't really find that extra activation, putting extra pressure onto your back. Just letting gravity do this work for you. If sitting up tall and finding that lean forward is challenging, feel free to elevate the hips slightly, or sitting on a cushion or sitting on a block. Just breathing in to those spaces with the most tension. We're going to spend about 4 more breaths here. I encourage you to make each of those a little bit longer, a little fuller than the last. Allowing a small smile to find its way to the face, help calm some of those muscles. Allowing the forehead to be smooth. As you finish up that last breath or so, start to walk the hands back in, finding your way back up tall. Again, swing the legs out behind you and we'll find our way down onto our stomach. Untucking the toes so tops of feet rest on the mat. Hands settling under the shoulders. Strengthening through our spine with our inhale. Find that half lift, head and shoulders. Coming up, hands are light, maybe they hover. And we're not looking straight forward here because it's only that half lift. So maybe gaze comes to the top of our mat, an inch or so in front. And with an exhale, release that down. We'll send arms up overhead. I need a little bit more space here. Thumbs towards the sky. Allow the forehead to rest. And with an inhale, arms and only arms start to lift up away from the mat. Maybe they just get light today, depending on shoulder mobility. As we exhale, releasing that down. Next one, we're going to move through a few different shapes with the arms, starting with that same lift or that same lightness. You're going to be drawing the elbows down towards either side of the rib cage, finding more of a W shape with the arms. Head can hover or rest on the mat. I'll leave that up to you, whatever's most comfortable. Finding that little bit of openness through the chest as we strengthen through the upper back. Inhaling to lift the arms. As you exhale, draw the elbows back and down. Inhale, extend out overhead. Exhale, draw it back, neck long. One more. Inhale, reach. Exhale, pull that back. We'll release hands back onto the mat, opening up that chest a tiny bit more. You can stretch the right arm out away from the right shoulder. Find a 90-degree bend in the elbow. Pressing through the mat with our left hand. Left foot is going to start to reach up and over towards the right side. Allow that head to rest on the mat, maybe on that left hand. Creating a little bit of a pillow. Finding somewhere to rest. 2 more breaths. find center. Making our way to our second side, that left arm stretches out from the shoulder. Finding a 90-degree elbow bend, fingertips to the top of your mat. This time right hand is planting as right leg reaches. Creating space through the chest and the front of the shoulder. Breathing deep. Going through one more breath. And then take your time as you make your way back through center. Hands find their way under shoulders. Get really strong through the core. As we inhale for one more half lift. Noticing that openness, feeling the difference, the expansion through the front of the body. And exhale, let that go. Hands can make their way back to either side of the hips. Chin can rest if that feels comfortable. And keeping the legs fairly straight, let's inhale to lift the right leg up and away from the mat. Engaging through the hamstring, through the glute. For 3. Hips pressing solid down for 2. Very nice. Last one. Go ahead and lower. And of course, we've got to even out side. So when you're ready, left leg, inhale, lift. Feeling that pressure down through the rest of the body. That lightness, that activation through your left leg. For 3, glutes firing, hamstrings firing. 2, keeping lifted so strong. And 1, go ahead and release. Hands can come back up to rest really wherever is comfortable. I like to just make a pillow for myself with my left hand. As we move into a bit of a quad stretch, we're going to bring right heel in towards the glute. Catching a foot or an ankle. The reach isn't quite there for this one today. Feel free to use a strap or a belt, something to help that arm extend a little bit more. And we'll start to find some quad stretch sensation as we pull that heel in towards the glute. If you need more here, we kick into the hand slightly, gently, pressing the right hip into your mat, into it firm. Sometimes that helps to open things up a little bit more, create more space. And over the next breath or so, you can gently release, allowing the foot to come back to rest on the mat. And take your time onto your second side, drawing that left heel in towards you. Grabbing for an ankle, wherever is reachable. Finding that quad stretch sensation. That activation is there if you need it. Finding a gentle kick as we press the left hip firm into the ground. One more breath or so. And we'll start to release. Let go of that leg. Hands find their way back under shoulders, keeping that core strong as we inhale through our tabletop and find our way to a downward dog. From here, this time we're going to come into the calves a little bit more. So shift that weight over to one side. Maybe we let the other foot either get light, just letting the toes rest. You can always cross the foot behind the opposite ankle. Playing around with this one with a little bit of a weight shift, more or less of a bend to that back knee. Maybe by getting high on the toes, seeing how that feels through the foot. And similarly, we'll find our way to the left foot, second side, getting light on our right toes. Playing around with sensation through that left foot, through the left calf. Shifting weight, bending or straightening the knee. And most importantly, always breathing. If a spot or position is so angry that the breath starts to catch, we'll move on or maybe ease off to somewhere that our breath can flow a little bit more freely. Again, start to walk the feet forward towards the hands. Finding your way back down to a seat. Onto your back. And start here by tucking knees in towards the chest, finding that little sway side to side. Or drawing these into a couple circles clockwise or counterclockwise. Just massage the back out. You've been working hard, you deserve it. And allowing foot soles to touch, we'll start by crossing right ankle over the left knee. Flexing the toes to help protect the joints and keep everything stable. We might stay here, maybe adding pressure away with the right hand. Or we can inhale legs towards us, reaching behind the left hamstring. Got about 4 good breaths here. Breathing into those spots of tension. Maybe finding that little activation with a push away. And allowing the upper back, the back of the head, just to rest so heavy here. Last one. Exhaling to release any grips we have, uncrossing the legs. Finding your second side. Go ahead and set up however you need. And allow yourself to settle into sensation. Breathing into it. About 4 full, solid, smooth breaths. With an exhale, we release our grip, we untangle the legs. Send arms overhead, legs long, take a big full body stretch. And then tuck into a ball, get rid of all that extra air, forehead to knees, big exhale, rinse the lungs out. You can release onto your back. Opening up for a couple breaths in stillness. If you've got some fidgets to get out, take a sec, do what you need to do. And then allow yourself to be still. Just slow down. Check in with how the body's feeling. feeling ourselves grounded on our mats. Feeling the chest light with each inhale. Maybe coming back to our focus. And as we return to the present moment, we do so gently, starting by wiggling fingers and toes. Movements through wrists and ankles, maybe rocking the head side to side, massaging out the back of the skull. If you're craving another full body stretch, please feel free, go right on ahead. And then we'll find our way over one side or the other, back to your comfortable seat from the start of our practice. As we settle in here, allowing time for one more cleansing breath, we'll find that inhale together. Big sigh, exhale. Hands can float through center. And chin comes to chest as we refocus the eyes. Maybe bring them open if they were closed. Hope you're feeling good, maybe ready for your next run the next day or so. Thank you so much for joining me. If you have any requests, anything you'd like to see more of, more than happy to. So we'll see you again soon. Namaste.